doing hockey for you guys this winter?
Girls definitely. Hopefully not boys, but
Why, you don't want to do boys?
no. Hopefully I make the team.
Oh, yeah.
Live from New Canaan High School's Dunning Field, it's varsity girls soccer on DAF Media and NCTV. And this afternoon, the Darien Blue Wave travel to New Canaan to take on the Rams in the 4th edition of the Rivals Cup. Hi, everybody. Joined alongside Chase Harden. I'm Braden Shank. And Chase, this is the premier, not the premier rivalry, the rivalry of the FCAC and girls soccer. They will get the latest edition this afternoon.
So both teams, obviously, New Canaan, Darien games, no matter who's ranked what, no matter records, it's always a good game. And both records, New Canaan's 2-7-2, Darien's 3-4-3. So, you know, even though it doesn't matter who's ranked what in Darien, New Canaan rivalries, this should be a good game on paper. You know, we talked to both coaches before the game. The Rams, they said they just need to play their game and win tackles. On the other side, Darien said they need to come out strong, finish opportunities. They've had them all year. They just haven't been able to finish them. And, Braden, I think we're in for a good one.
We are indeed, and talking with both of these coaching staffs, it's a rivalry game, but both of them know they need wins to stay alive in the FCAC playoff contention. They're both looking on the outside, looking in, and a win today, 3 points on the table table can go a long way for either of these teams. What are some key players to watch? First, starting with New Canaan.
On the Rams side, head coach Rich Hickson told us Sydney Patton, who's only a sophomore, along with Paige Place, who's also a sophomore, and then Captain Kennedy Cruiser, you know, all offensive threats. And then on the other side, for the Blue Wave, head coach told us Jillian Fox, who's a captain goalkeeper, she had a phenomenal game against St. Joe's. He said she had double-digit saves, and she's that rock that the Blue Wave need. He also said Caitlyn Secor, another captain, Colette Quinn, CC Chandler, and, you know, I think it's relatively even matched, both teams, and I think it's going to come down to the goalkeepers and who makes those key stops.
And the goalkeepers is an interesting to look at for Darien. They have the Davidson-bound Jillian Fox. She's been stellar all season for Darien. And then a team like New Canaan, they weren't decided on their goalkeeper when we got starting lineups. So we're not sure if it's going to be Gabriel or DeFelice. So we'll find out when they announce starting lineups. But it makes a big difference when you have a college commit and then you have the New Canaan side. Now looking at the history of the Rivals Cup here, the 4th edition, as we mentioned, between these two teams. And you see the 3 scores on your screen. New Canaan, of course, won it and is looking to retain it. And, of course, that 2-1 match. And, Chase, what did you see in that Rivals Cup last season?
Yeah, I mean, both teams last year, they lost a couple key players, New Canaan and Dylan Patton, Kaylee Harden, Darian as well. And really, I mean, it was a defensive battle. It was only 2-1, New Canaan, the best of it. I think New Canaan's won the past, 3 years. So Darien, they got a chip on their shoulder, and they really want to win this game.
So a small correction on that. Darien won the 2020 matchup 3-2, but it was still a close one. New Canaan looking for their 3rd Rivals Cup. Darien looking to take it back for the first time since 2020. And, of course, the rivalry will be renewing, as we'll now send you down to the field with starting lineups in this one.
Testing. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our FCAC girls soccer matchup between the New Canaan Rams and the Darien Blue Wave. Can we please have both teams line up for the introducing of the starting lineup? Thank you. Introducing the Darien Blue Wave starting lineup coached by Lee Parsons. Number 1, Jillian Fox, captain. Number 4, Caroline Aponte. Number 5, Keely Fox. Number 6, Cece Chandler, captain. Number 7, Colette Quinn, captain. Number 10, Caitlyn Secor, captain. Number 11, Amanda Smith. Number 14, Sadie Stafford. Number 21, Presley Sutter. Number 23, Anna Von Kennel. Number 27, Lila DeBano. Now for your New Canaan Rams, coached by Rich Hickson. Number 1, DeFelice. Number 2, Sydney Patton. Number 8, Captain Maddie Donaldson. Number 10, Catherine K.B. Byrd. Number 11, Ellie Galois, captain. Number 15, Kennedy Kreutzer, captain. Number 20, Devin Russell. Number 22, Catherine Norton. Number 23, Cecilia Patterson. Number 28, Paige Place. Please stand and join us for the national anthem. Sorry, we are having some technical difficulty. Let's play ball. You could just like sing it in your head.
Back after the introductions here on DAF and NCTV. Interesting, to say the least, Chase, but both of these teams are fired up for this rivalry game.
Yeah, we touched on it earlier, Braden. No matter who's ranked what sport, records, it's all thrown out the window, and it's always a close matchup when the Rams face the Blue Wave, and I'm very excited.
It's a good one indeed. Yesterday, the boys took to the pitch at the DHS Oval, and it was the Blue Wave that got the best of the Rams 4-0. So Darien, the girls, will look to repeat that, and New Canaan will look to upset and split the rival cups and take one back to New Canaan High School.
And Darian's got that chip on their shoulder from last year, and tonight's officials, Jimmy Hoffa and Tom Collins.
Of course, I think we talked a little bit with them before the match here today. They're ready for this one. It's going to be, as we mentioned, a little bit colder, a little bit more slippery out there, but they're ready to call a good match of soccer. And the teams huddle up, and you can briefly see on your screen just the size difference between these two teams. Darien carrying about double the size of New Canaan on their roster, a much senior, junior heavy team, 28 of their players on the upperclassmen side. That's more than New Canaan has combined. Only 24 players combined on this New Canaan team. And how do you think that really affects New Canaan when they only have 24 guys on the roster?
Well, when you have, only 24, you can't, when you have injuries and stuff, you're not able to, you don't have as much depth, whereas the Blue Wave do. New Canaan has struggled with injuries this year, and, they're looking to these unexperienced backups, and because of that, it shows in their record, whereas when you're traveling with this many players and you have all that depth, you're able to, sustain injury and still be a top team in the state. And Braden, you touched on it. Both head coaches before the game said not only is this a rivalry matchup, but this is, a key game for the playoffs, and, both teams are inching at a playoff spot, and this is a big game for both teams. Obviously, the rivalry, but this is for a playoff spot as well.
So, looking at what's at stake today, Darien, they are currently sitting in 11th place in the conference. They're 4 points out of the playoffs, so they have some room to breathe. New Canaan, a very different story. If they lose today, they need Greenwich and Danbury to tie tonight to be mathematically alive in the FCAC playoff. And then if they lose tonight, they also will need to win out in order to qualify for a state playoff spot. So the Rams definitely need some points here tonight. And it will be Caroline Aponte to start for the Wave.
Braden, it's never a good thing when you're counting on other teams like New Canaan will be if they lose this game in order to get a playoff spot.
And this is something that both Darien, they just barely missed out of the FCAC playoffs last year. New Canaan, they made it, lost to Staples in the quarterfinal. As quickly we are underway, Darien will be in their road white jerseys, moving from right to left on your screen with the blue numbering. New Canaan in their home reds, moving from left to right in the white numbering. As both of the starting 11s take their side, Sutter on the far side will let it go, and the throw-in will now be commenced by Patterson. It's also interesting, number 12, Ella Patterson, a senior for the Rams, is out tonight. And we touched on the injuries. Head coach Rich Hickson talked about just the next man up mentality for this New Canaan team. Just when you lose a player, getting the next girl up and keeping the depth. And unfortunately for them, the 2-7-2 record is not ideal, but they're still hanging in here with only a couple matches left to play.
She's a key player for this team. Ella, her younger sister, Cece's on the team, and she's a sophomore, and she's actually been a key contributor as well due to those injuries on the team.
We were talking before the match, star lacrosse goalie Patterson, and she'll be off for the Rams in the spring, as with many of these athletes on the field today.
Yeah, there's a lot of talented lacrosse players on this field. We touched on it. We were talking about it. There's not as many soccer commits as there are, lacrosse commits. I mean, you can name a north of 6 on this field right now.
Lacrosse commits?
Stella Nolan, Michigan.
You're probably looking at northwards of a dozen if you count both teams combined on it. But you mentioned the sole soccer commit out here is Jillian Fox off to Davidson to play soccer next year for the Wildcats. And now here is Dave Felice with the goal kick. Dave Felice, the senior, one of 2 goalkeepers on the team. Sharing time with Chrissy Gabriel. Gabriel, the sophomore, will be the starter next year, but Dave Felice bringing the seniority to head coach Hickson's goalkeeper position. Sutter will bring it right back to her.
Goalie's about confidence, and when one of your goalies struggles with confidence, it's never a good thing. So we'll see what DeFelice can do today.
Punt from DeFelice now into the midfield, just past Patterson. That was actually Russell on the ground. Byrne will get it right back to her offense. Patton in the corner. Galwa will try to center it past Abeno, and now Colette Quinn will retreat it. That one's out. Possession staying with the Rams. Abeno in the corner. She'll let it go.
It's going to go for a goal kick. We've seen New Canaan start a little strong. Darien came back on their half, and New Canaan's back on their half. A little back and forth play, only 3 minutes into the game. A lot of space there. The Rams defense did not close up on her, and you don't want to give players space. Never a good thing.
Throwing from Von Kennel now into the open space. Patton into the sea of Darien players. Sutter and Smith will knock it away. And Darien, a team that they're going to keep the pressure on offensively.
Coaches talked to us when we talked to them before the game. They said they need to come out strong and they need to win every 50-50 battle. And as of right now, they have come out strong, and see if they can finish strong as well. It's always important. Finishing and starting strong.
That one out. Chandler will get the throw in. CC, a senior captain. She'll be off to Richmond next year to play lacrosse for the Spiders. And the throw in is turning it over to the Rams.
It's another one, another lacrosse commit. You might be right. There might be a dozen on this field. It's pretty crazy. A lot of talented athletes coming out of both these schools.
No Darien, I think they have 9 alone on their team. And then you mentioned in the couple New Canaan players, so I do think you are looking at a dozen or so. As that one rolls out, the ball girl will chase it down the hill.
It's Paige Place, sophomore. She started as a freshman last year, and Rich Hickson starred her name on that list. She is a very key player for this Rams team, and she's got a very bright future as a Ram.
Place, she scored against Bridgeport on Friday in the team's win, and as you mentioned, started last year as a freshman. That is no easy task, especially for a team like New Canaan. But Place has been doing her part for the Rams. Give and go then was looking for Von Kennel. And talking about the freshman, Anna Von Kennel, the sole freshman on this Darien team. She's starting, the 3-star athlete, and she's really excelled for head coach Lee Parsons. And it's going to be interesting to watch her out on the lacrosse field come spring.
All I hear is good things about her. And Braden, like you said, it's no easy task to start as a freshman, let alone be one of the key players on your team, to be circled by your head coach as one of those players. And it's pretty incredible when you, look into it in detail.
And Smith with the nice move on it. Now to Sutter in transition. Aponte over to Sadie Stafford on the far side. Stafford, the Duke lacrosse commit. The give and go. Aponte met with a defender. Now Canaan gets the turnover. Trying to get it going. It's Patterson. Now number 11s would collide on that one. Galwa and Smith. Here's Place on the far wing. Place staying with it. DeBano knocks it out of the box. This one now sent on net. Fox will call off her defenders and keep it just in the box. Smart play from Jillian Fox, avoids the foul and keeps it in the box.
It was a little sketchy for Darien fans. She almost fumbled that out of bounds and would have gave the Rams good opportunity.
And not only was she coming close to that out of bounds line, again, that box where she can no longer pick it up with her hands would have been more trouble for Darien. But still a heads up play from the 4-year varsity player, Jillian Fox. And she will now receive the goal kick. So far, no offense in the first 7 minutes of this one. Fox, the line drive. Ooh, off the head of Min.
That couldn't have felt good.
That was actually Sutter. And if both of these teams have something, it is the toughness that they have brought this year, fighting through the 10-game schedule that they've already played 11 games and excelling at it. Here's Donaldson. She passes it over to Russell. Russell's going to try to take it in the box, being pushed out by Fox. Can she keep it in the corner? No, she can't.
Played it too far in front of herself, and it's going to be a goal kick. Russell, another D1 lacrosse commit, BC. She's a very talented lacrosse player.
Devin Russell, the all-FCAC girls lacrosse player. She'll be out for Kristen Woods and the New Canaan team in the spring.
I mean, it's pretty incredible. A lot of these girls out here today are, 2-3 sport athletes, and it's pretty incredible when you think about it.
That's where I was going with my next point, is that these girls aren't just excelling athletes at one sport, but they can play multiple sports, the versatility, soccer, lacrosse, some basketball players out here, ice hockey. I mean, it's truly remarkable, all the sports that these guys play out, or these girls play out here. As Ponte will head it over to Von Kennel. That one will be Norton who tries to clear it out. Norton, the Dartmouth lacrosse commit. Hail Mary in the box. Can Galwa get there? Secor is going to push her out. Galwa tries to head it, but Caitlyn Secor comes away with it. Patton now. Patton being met with Smith. We'll take it in the corner. Look for the centering pass. On net. Perticello now maneuvering her way. Passing it over to Patton. And offsides is going to be called on Sydney Patton.
Patton with a nice feed there, nice try there to Perticello. Blue wave defense just smothered them. Patton, another player, Rich Hickson circled. She's also a sophomore. Rams have a couple players on their roster that have very bright futures. Her being one, Paige Place, and a couple others, and so did the Blue Wave.
And Patton was a player that was started before the season even started. Her sister, of course, Dylan Patton, a star for this New Canaan girls soccer team, now off at Cornell playing lacrosse. And here's Von Kennel using the speed. Anna gets there. Von Kennel taking it into the box. The shot stopped by Dave Felice. And that one is kept in. The shot from Quinn on the ground, and Dave Felice will corral it.
What a clutch save by Dave Felice. We talked about confidence, and an early save, with how big of a stop that was, can really give her confidence, and just a great save by Dave Felice to keep zeros on the board.
And that was a tough shot to stop. Von Kennel was coming on the far wing. The freshman put the shot off. Dave Felice making the big stop, and then the rebound from Colette Quinn looking to send one in. And again, stopped by Dave Felice. Here's Byrne. Cross pass over to Place. Paige Place, that wing player for New Canaan.
she creates a lot of space for herself. I mean, there was nobody within 15 feet of her when she got that pass.
Place now. She's tripped up by Chandler. Stafford's going to keep it in. To no avail, though, and New Canaan will grab the possession right back. Offside's called on place again. She's not happy with that call. The new referee calling it on place. Second time she's been called for the offsides.
Looks like Rich Hickson was giving the ref a little mouthful on the side there as well, but he's just going to move on quickly.
So Secor will get it at just at the 15-yard line with the restart. Caitlyn Secor, a big-time goal scorer for this Darien team, a senior captain, all-FCX second-teamer last year. She had both goals when the team played Greenwich to a 2-2 tie. One of them off a long free kick that she had. So she's got range to her shot. As now Sutter will touch it in the midfield. Over to Stafford on the wing. Long pass, Von Kennel keeps it in. Through balls looking for Stafford. And Stafford puts it just wide on the net. Still a good attempt from Sadie to get the shot on.
Nice try there for the Blue Wave, but there was 3 Rams and 1 Darien player, so she really had nothing going for her there and puts it on the side of the net. DeFelice for the goal kick.
I'm also looking down at the bleachers. The Darien and New Canaan boys soccer teams in attendance for this one. Darien, their captains, James Kennedy, Matthew Kennedy, Trevor Pegg, Trey DeSanctis, or Kyle Bayer all in attendance, joined by New Canaan. And it just shows you, Chase, just how these guys are friends off the field, and the girls out here, they play club together, but at the end of the day, they still are friends out here competing against each other, and it's just the power of high school sports.
It's always great to see your fellow classmates supporting you, and it you know, ups the ante when your classmates come out to watch you. You want to really put on a show for them, so it's great to see.
Sutter, short pass to Stafford, tripped up by Norton.
Police tried to get that one, goes out of bounds, and Darian's going to get possession here.
And it's looking like the refs are going to overrule it to New Canaan. Here will be Patterson with the throw-in. Galwa now going to fight her way through, looking for a long through ball. And that one will roll out of bounds again. The wet turf out there taking that one a little bit too far.
We touched on it before the game. The weather is going to impact this one with wet turf. Nice try there from Galwa trying to find the sophomore place.
That one is 15 Kreutzer, my apologies. Over to Place on the far side and to nobody in that far corner. New Canaan, you can see the play they're trying to run, going to that far left corner, just haven't been able to find a receiver on that pass.
They've tried it 2 or 3 times already, and it hasn't worked. And, you know, they don't usually practice in these conditions, both teams, wet turf. So they, you know, they'll get used to it eventually, but right now they're still trying to find a grasp of it and see, you know, how's the turf playing? Should I touch it too soft, too hard? You know, what's the deal?
Throw in from Fox, a strong one. Over Von Kennel now. New Canaan will kick it right to Stafford. Stafford to Von Kennel. And was looking for Sutter. Instead will be Place, who transitions it to Galwa. And so far, there's some sloppy passes from both sides.
Yeah, the passes really are all over the place.
Patterson was looking for the receiver. Secor will knock it away. Here's Patton now. Patton sends the shot on net. Fox is there to make the stop.
Nice try there from Patton, but it's relatively easy save. She sees that one every day. Practice games, that's a, you know, easy stop for her.
Sutter over to Quinn, the give and go. Patton will now hit it to the open field, and Donaldson, Maddie Donaldson, a senior captain for this Rams team. Star basketball player for the Rams in the winter. Nice move from Devin Russell. And Russell will now look to get it in the box. DeBano again playing the defense on it. Quinn overshoots Von Kennel. Smith now at the midfield.
back and forth to each other.
And that one kicked out of play.
Trying to get something going there for the Blue Wave. Rams defense has looked relatively good so far. It's been a relatively even game possession-wise. Darian's had their chances, and so have the Rams. DeFelice now with a goal kick. Taking her time.
And as for shots in here, as we're nearing the end of the first quarter in this one, it's really not been that offensive of a game. DeFelice 2 saves, Fox with that 1. And it really just came on that 1 offensive opportunity for the Wave. But there's still a lot of soccer left to be played. Again, the number 11's Galwa and Smith collide on it. Byrne turned away by Secor. Here's Colette Quinn, the Princeton lacrosse commit. Over to Aponte, give and go right back. Von Kennel trying to maneuver her way out of it, keeping possession with the Blue Wave.
Nice play there by Catherine Norton to cut off the angle there and send it out of bounds.
Now when Quinn gets her body on the line for it, keeps the momentum with Darien. As DeBano now over to Sutter.
Porticello there just sensed trouble and wanted to get it the heck out.
Galwa. Nice moves from Galwa, trips up DeBano, but Sutter's there to intercept it. Now Colette Quinn.
It's a nice touch there by Carolina Ponte.
Sutter looking to maneuver her way out of it. A big-time shooter for the Wave, and now gets it to Von Kennel. Chandler looks to keep the pressure on, off of place.
Chandler second guessed herself there, but chose to go. She backed up and was like, screw it. I want to challenge place. I'm not going to give her any space, and it was a good play by her as they're going to keep possession.
Throw in on that one, looking for Norton. Catherine, her brother Michael Norton, an alumni of New Canaan High School, soccer lacrosse player, class of 2022. One of the many families out here in this girls' soccer match.
He was one of the players that the Rams lost, boys soccer-wise and boys lacrosse, as I'm sure Darian did as well.
I should try to think on that. I'm not really sure, Darian, who their lacrosse soccer connection players are. Mainly soccer and hockey, at least for Darien boys. And of course, with towns like Darien and New Canaan, the good football programs they have, and those players translating to the lacrosse players.
Football steals a lot of those athletes. Unfortunately, the boys soccer don't have most. Girls, on the other hand, have most of those athletes, as does field hockey.
They do indeed. In field hockey, you see with the girls ice hockey translation usually, and girls soccer, of course, girls lacrosse, the translation. But of course, the athletes on the football teams, both of those teams will return to action this week. Darien going up to Wilton tomorrow to face the Warriors. New Canaan back here on Saturday to take on the Norwalk Bears. And of course, the Turkey Bowl is the big way they ended off this season. The Darien New Canaan, the Rivals Cup is the Turkey Bowl for these two teams.
And it's rivalry week tomorrow at the same time, right back here at Dunning. It's girls field hockey. It's New Canaan, Darien take each other on, and that should be a really fun game to watch as well.
Should be indeed. Those teams met in an FCAC title match last season where Darien got the best of the Rams, so the rematch should definitely be a good one. As now Jillian Fox will get the goal kick. Fox, the All-FCAC honorable mention last season. This through ball. Von Kennel is going to use the speed, but DeFelice is going to come out and boot it to the midfield. Heads-up play from Bella.
Really was. She didn't want to give Darien any opportunity, and she came out. Smart play by DeFelice.
Von Kennel back to Stafford. Stafford makes the nice move. Right back to Von Kennel. On the near side. Fox is going to maneuver her way over to Quinn. Collect Quinn. She's got range on her shot. This one's going to roll into the box offsides, as they said they were looking for Von Kennel on it.
It's a good series of moves there from Russell, but Keely Fox says, no way you doing that here. And she steals it, tries to get it to one of her teammates, put it on net, but DeFelice is right there. Another goal kick. Darien has had some good possession time here in the past couple minutes in the Rams side of the half. So they're going to switch it up and give it to Donaldson, one of the Rams captains, and she's got a good leg there. Tried to get it to Patton, but Fox takes it.
And that's Keely Fox, number 5, of course, the neon headband. And believe it or not, no relation between Keely Fox and Jillian Fox. And there's actually another Fox on the team, Logan Fox, who is the sister of Keely, also a junior. So Darian, that shot is set on net. Was looking for the receiving end of it.
It was a great try by Galau, trying to find place in front, but it was just a little hard and a little out of her reach.
So an opportunity for the Rams to take another look at it. That one just past the goalkeeper, Fox. But as I was saying, Darien, they graduate Jillian Fox, and then they keep 2 more Foxes on the team with Keely and Logan Fox, both very talented, fast players for Darien.
I'm sure Rich Hickson, Rams head coach, was happy with that try from Galau. And, they said it before the game, they need opportunities, they need to finish them, and it all starts with things like that. Just playing the ball in front, and that's how you generate opportunities.
Carolina Ponte. Throw-in intercepted by Patterson. Darien keeps the momentum, forward progress of it. Here's CC Chandler. Of course, Chandler, her sister Catherine, was a member of the 2020 DHS girls soccer team, a captain. Another younger sister under CC, also a soccer player. That will be playing for Lee Parsons in a couple years.
Catherine Burns just going to send that one out, and the Blue Wave are going to keep possession.
Place intercepted. Referee, no call on it. It's also interesting. I don't think we've seen a foul yet today, Chase. Referees letting them play on.
No, we haven't. I like that, though. You'd rather, at least in my opinion, I'd rather have officials that don't call anything than call stuff, and especially in a New Canaan Darien game, unless it's a crime, I would like to think they're not going to call it.
A much different story than yesterday's boys match, in which New Canaan had a couple yellow cards handed out to them, a very aggressive game, and the refs were on it since the first minute. Today, a much more laid-back approach by the referees, and Darien will keep the possession. I mean, you got to let them play.
Yeah, man. I mean, once it starts to get a little chippy, that's when you start making calls. But right now, you just realize it's 2 talented teams, and just let them do their thing. And I like that no call by the 2 officials.
Of course, 2 veteran officials we have on this one. Secor will get the free kick just about at the 50-yard line.
Free kicks are incredibly important in soccer, and that's really where you generate opportunities, trying to get in front and get your players and, get ahead, get any type of bounce and, just a lucky bounce and try and get one in the back of the net.
And this will set up our first corner kick of the afternoon.
Another great opportunity for the Blue Wave. And Blue Wave talking it over here. They're going to send Fox for the corner kick. And she's going to, I would assume, play it in front and try and get a head on it.
Up for a head and retreating it back off the head of Secor. A push there, ooh, and the referee's going to call it there as Patton got sandwiched between Stafford and DeBano.
Good hustle there from Patton to get the call, and that's something you got to call. She got, like you said, sandwiched.
That's our first foul of the match. That one out of play keeps it with Fox and Darien. And that's actually Isabella Lini, number 8, the sophomore checking in, first-year varsity player. Another talented player that played in the farm teams for Darien last year, getting the call this season. Athletic family, her brother Dylan, a star basketball, baseball player for Darien. Of course, the Alini is one of many athletic families out here. As Patton's going to look to send it in the box. She has the receiver on place.
Nice play there by Patton. Place just had a little too many touches there.
Quick restart. This one now into the open space. Burns going to get for it. Short pass to Galois. Chandler will kick it out, and as the saying goes, when in doubt, kick it out.
Very true, especially in soccer. You know, whenever you sense danger, just get it out, get a breather, and just get back in position. Stella Nolan, the senior, is going to check in here.
So Nolan is coming in, Russell coming out. Here in the 25th minute of play. Strong throw in on that far side, and Aponte's going to kick it out.
Sequence of outs there. 2 or 3 in the span of 30 seconds. I'm sure they just want to change side of the field and play it from a different area.
Norton into the open space on this one. Stella Nolan will get her first touch of the match. Quinn, short pass, and that give and go works to perfection that time. Colette Quinn looking for Kate Min, newly entered into the match. Min, the Bowden lacrosse commit.
Looked like Norton had time there, and I think that's what Hickson or one of the assistants on the staff there. She had DeFelice back there, but chose to kick it out like you touched on earlier. When in doubt, kick it out. I've never heard that one. That's a pretty good expression because it's very much true, but I thought she had DeFelice back there, and DeFelice could have kicked it upfield to one of the strikers.
It's always interesting in a sport like soccer where it's always running, you know, getting that short breather, forcing the throw in, especially when your defense is at a transition like that.
Well, and a lot of times, you know, danger can just happen when one of your center defensemen, you know, has the ball back there, and, you know, kicking it out is much better than having the ball end up in the back of your net. So the rain's starting to come down here, and
luckily we're inside, so
yes.
We're staying nice and warm, but the rain is coming down.
Umbrellas starting to open up, and looks like people are starting to exit the stands.
It is going to be interesting. The referees are going to let them play on unless they see lightning or if it's too heavy to play through. But right now, this sort of drizzle is something they're going to keep playing through. Here's Fox for the second corner kick of the match. Sends it on net. The head. And it looks like it hit off of a New Canaan's face and instead keeps it out of the net.
That was a great corner from Fox, and she's going to have another chance here as the officials signal for another corner. That was just a great corner. Blue Wave right in front, and that might have gotten a glimpse of the post there. Maybe not, but
Fox sends this one into the scrum. Off of Aponte, and she scores!
And if you're a Ram right there, you can sense that Fox, you know, right before her first corner with a beautiful, beautiful corner, and Fox finding Aponte right in front as the Rams gather and talk that one over. What a great sequence there. It's always beautiful when you connect on a corner like that, and that's a highlight reel goal.
Caroline Aponte raises the right foot, touches it with her boot, and sends it past DeFelice to put the Blue Wave up 1-0.
Always important to get that first goal, get that confidence, and the Blue Wave have done just that. Still got a little time in the first half. Just a great corner from Fox, and Aponte with the finish. Great job by her.
Something that this Darien coaching staff touched on was that they had the opportunities, they just needed to finish. And that time, Aponte slammed it home and gave Darien the 1-0 advantage. Here's Min now looking for Stafford. She finds Sadie. Stafford fighting through it. The trio of New Canaan defenders, and that one will go out of play. But this Darien offense is hungry for more.
You can just sense the energy change after that goal. Darien sideline got a lot louder, and they're playing with a lot more confidence. I mean, even a minute after that goal. That's what that first goal of the game can do.
Still here late in the first half as the referee is going to signal the change of possession. Min. Over to Quinn. This one will be intercepted by the likes of Achille. Summer Achille, the junior newly entered into the match, number 21. It's actually 24, my apologies. My eyesight not as good as it used to be. That's Gilliam, also for New Canaan, newly checked in. I'm going to blame that one on the rain, though.
It's a good excuse.
Stella Nolan now will kick it over to Jillian Fox. Fox will pick up the ground ball. And Chase, what does New Canaan need to do to stay in this match?
They just got to keep pushing, right? Defensively, they got to stay strong, goaltending especially, but they got to create chances and you know, put balls on net because they got a tremendous goalie, a Davidson commit, as you touched on earlier, Braden. So in order to do that, you got to put them off the ground or, you know, pick corners. You're not going to get, you know, fluke goals on her. So you got to find the right shot and, you know, just create opportunity.
Throw in from Stafford. She's looking for Sutter. Instead, it will be Quinn. Kicks it just wide. And DeFelice is now realizing that might stay in, so she'll come out of the box and kick it to her or to her teammates. Min will intercept it. Looking for a Ponzi. Sutter. Fly ball. And DeFelice will pick it up.
Judge that bounce well. She's just going to calm it down, let her middies and her wingers get upfield.
That one off the head of Alini. Alini, the sophomore now, getting it over to Min. Quinn. To nobody out of play. That one's going to go to the Rams.
Good patience there by the Blue Wave, trying to get something going.
You're just joining us, Braden Shank and Chase Harden with you. So glad you can be with us on the DAF Media Network or NCTV. 1-0 Darien leads Carolina Ponte with the differentiating goal. As Ponte will let that one go. But it's also interesting, Chase, when we went up to talk to head coach Lee Parson before the game, he was talking with Ponte, almost going over that exact move that she pulled off, bringing the right foot up on the corner kick, slamming it past DeFelice, and Bella was just fooled on that one as Ponte put the Wave up 1-0.
Well, you know, DeFelice has got to let her defenseman know she's the quarterback out there, and she's got to let everybody know, hey, you're on this player, you're on this player. And corners, just as much as free kicks, those are where goals are generated.
Darian will check number 16, Kelly Holmes, into the match. She recently committed to the Yale Bulldogs lacrosse program. So just a junior, but she will be off to Yale, joining her teammate Maggie Bellissimo for the Bulldogs in 2 Springs. Fox into the box, that one off the head of Norton. New Canaan team that has now been outscored 22-14 on the season. Their goal production hasn't been to their standards and something that they are going to need to tweak heading into their final 3 matches at Fairfield Ludlow, at Norwalk, and West Hill to round it out for the Rams.
Yeah, and I mean, all these games, they need to win, right? With a loss today, they're depending on other teams' you know, records. So right now, Rich Hickson and his staff are saying, we got to win games, and we got to start getting something going.
This one now, it's up high, off the crossbar. Ponte sent another one on net. But it might have been the crossbar, the field goal there. Replay's a little late, but Ponte put the shot up.
A month early, the Turkey Bowl.
Well,
Sending it through the uprights.
It's at Darien this year.
True.
So 3 points here wouldn't count for the Turkey Bowl.
But
DeFelice now. Fox moving it past Nolan.
Good D there. Sydney Patton trying to work it down. Donaldson captain. She's going to feed it into sophomore Sydney Patton.
That one overshooting Stella Nolan. Nolan, the Michigan lacrosse commit, can't get there, and Darien will get the ball right back.
Nolan's going to have that one. Donaldson captain trying to find Nolan. She could have had a nice chance there, but it goes by her. And she just checked in the game, so I'm sure she's not aware of the conditions with the wet turf, but that's one she wants to have back.
Jillian Fox over off of Ponte. Ball on the ground, Quinn. Now, ooh, there's a push. Referee is gonna call that one right there. The Darien student section putting it on the ref. A big push from Patton on that one, and the referee's right there. It's one thing to push like that, but it's another, you gotta know the referee's right there looking at you.
Exactly.
Easy call for the ref is now Colette Quinn with the free kick. Strong kick from Colette into the box. DeFelice will come up and pick it up off a bounce. And I was saying, Colette has the range to her shot. She scored one against Trumbull on the free kick that was about from the 40-yard line is where she scored from for the equalizer against the Trumbull Eagles. But some range to hers as she shows it right there. As now Secor, the captain in this middle line for Darien.
That's something a lot of coaches like to see, especially in Lee Parsons. When you have somebody that can kick it that far, you almost sense danger there from Felice, but she was able to corral it. But that's when danger happens, just putting it on net and forcing New Canaan to make good plays instead of forcing, Darien, your own team, to make those plays.
DeBano over to Place. Now Aponte off her head. Perticello loses it to Sutter, and now Quinn will look to punch it loose. Good defense from Secor once again, the senior captain. Push there, no call.
Really nice play there by Secor. She had a gap, and Secor shut it down.
Aponte retreats it back. Next time's Chandler over to Min. This one into the open space. Min now. Patton. Canaan looking to slow it down. 4 minutes left before the half in a game that Darien leads 1-0. And it's felt like Chase Darien's had a majority of the offensive opportunities and the offensive possession so far in this first half, as now they will shoot it down to Galois. Big push there. Secor knocks down Galois.
And the officials are totally letting them play. Back official signaling something. It's going to be a sub. But I totally like the way the officials are calling this one.
And that's something right there. You can't necessarily give a call. You got to give the warning first.
Yep.
And a hit from Secor, who's making a play on the ball.
Jimmy Hoffa and Tim Collins calling a good one so far, letting them play.
Norton now to Colette Quinn, who keeps it in. Nice hustle from Colette. And I think the ref's going to call that out. It was a close play by Colette. It looked like from our angle on the complete other side of the field she kept it in. But of course, our veteran official right there going to turn it over to the Rams.
Can't argue when they're right there. Coaching staff's right there too, and I'm sure Rich Hickson said something, but called it out of bounds way before the play got down the field.
So throw in for Darien. Min. Short pass to Aponte. Little scrum going on, and that one will be booted to the midfield. So Fox keep it on, and they're going to call the handball on Fox.
Right now, if you're New Canaan, it'd be great to get a goal before half, and that would really amp things up. But right now, if you're a Chickson, you really want to just keep it, a one-goal game. So you're not trying to do anything silly. Yeah, great, we get a goal before the half, awesome. But right now, you really just want to keep the balls out of the back of your net.
Well, let there be light. The lights at Dunning Stadium coming on here. Was getting a little dark out before with the lights, but now here in about the 39th minute, we see the lights come on. Going to help the players see the ball a little better, maybe help us see the numbers a little better.
Could hear the cheering, as I'm sure all the players, it's getting tough to see, especially the goalkeepers. And once those lights turned on, everybody started to cheer, so well needed.
There's actually some crowd filing in here. New Canaan, of course, they got their soccer team, their field hockey team in attendance, cheering them on. Darien, their boys soccer team taking the trip up. And it just shows you the support that these teams have within their athletic communities to come out and support each other, especially in the big rivalry games like this.
Why not? Support your fellow teammates, your fellow classmates.
Even something yesterday for the boys game, a good packed house at the DHS Oval for Darien New Canaan, the Rivals Cup on the boys side. Hit there, tripped up is Holmes and Kreutzer, and possession going to the Rams. Minutes left for New Canaan to get some offense. You take another look at it. Big hit there.
I've seen a couple of those so far. But again, the refs don't call it. Just letting them play in this New Canaan-Darien rivalry.
Nice camera work from our own Henry and Brogno on that one to bring you that shot. And that one now kicked out of play. Of course, a joint production this afternoon between DAF Media and NCTV 78, bringing the live action in this one between Darien and New Canaan. The Rivals Cup for girls soccer. Now here's Kelly Holmes, the through ball. Holmes on the ground, and it's past DeFelice just wide. An opportunity for Kelly Holmes.
I think DeFelice might have misjudged that there. I think she could have had it, but she chose to dive for it. Nice save by her, keeping a 0 on the board.
And Darien's going to look for the stoppage. They're going to stop the clock. Do they have the time? They do. That was interesting because the ball, they signaled a Darien corner kick, and New Canaan stalled for a little bit, but 2 seconds. Here's Keely Fox. She sends it into the scrum. Can Darien get some magic? It's loose, and it's in! With time expiring, Darien makes it 2-0.
Wow, the officials called for a stoppage, and Darien Blue Wave capitalized on that one. Another corner. Braden, we talked about it, corners, freeze, those all matter. And the Darien Blue Wave put another one on the board to end the half at 2-0. We knew New Canaan had to keep it a 1-goal game, and they don't, and that just causes a lot more mayhem going into the second half, and I'm sure Rich Hickson's mad about that one.
The junior Presley Sutter, the one that finishes for Darien. Again, the ball went out, a corner kick for Darien. New Canaan picks it up. DeFelice tries to stall the clock. The referee stops it, and with 2 seconds left, the magical kick by Sutter, and Darien takes the 2-0 advantage. Chase, what did you see in this first half?
I saw, Darien dominated, especially towards, especially that second half of the first half. New Canaan, I would say, started out stronger, but Darien has 2 goals on the board. And, how clutch is it having somebody like Fox on those on those corner kicks that can just play beautiful volleys in there. And both of Darien's goals have been like that. New Canaan, Rich Hickson, and that staff, I'm sure, is saying, hey, we need to calm it down defensively. We need to get our stuff together, especially on those corners. DeFelice needs to be a better communicator there. And on the other side, Darien, I'm sure they're confident as they're going into the second half with all that momentum.
What impresses me so much with that corner kick, Chase, is Keely Fox knowing that she has 2 seconds on the clock. You can't kick it out for the head. You got to go straight for the cage and look for the touch. And that's exactly what Presley Sutter did, provided the end to a beautiful sequence. What do you think this New Canaan needs to do to try to fight back in the second half?
They just need to play solid defensively, can't let up and, allow any more goals to get in the back of the net, and they just need to put pressure on the Darien defense. And, when you put enough pressure on them, they're going to make bad plays. So you got to put that pressure on them, force them to make bad plays, and then capitalize on those bad plays and potentially get a couple goals out of that one. But it is the most key to just keep goals out of the back of your net because you can't win games when you're down 2-0 going into the second half, if you're already down 2. So you just got to stay calm, stay poised on defense, get any balls out, get every ball out, in fact, and just start putting pressure on Darien, which they haven't done a lot of in the first half.
Darien leads 2-0 at the half. Carolina Ponte, Presley Sutter, the 2 goal scorers for Darien. New Canaan will look to climb back with 40 minutes to play in the second half when we return on DAF Media and NCTV. We'll be right back. Back here at Dunning Field, waiting the start of the second half between Darien and New Canaan. Darien with a 2-0 advantage over New Canaan. Carolina Ponte scoring with 12 minutes left in the first half. And then with time expiring, Presley Sutter sent home the corner kick for Darien. And that is where we stand. Chase, we're going to have 40 more minutes of play. What do you think we're going to see?
It's a lot of time. A lot of time for both teams to get things going. If you're a Rams fan or, you're a player for them, it's not acceptable that you allow that goal with 2 seconds left. You got to be more aware on that corner kick because obviously 2 goals in soccer is a lot more than 1 goal. And everybody knows that it's a lot harder to put 2 back in the back of the net, let alone 3 to get the W than 1 or 2. So, New Canaan's just got to put the pedal to the metal and start, getting shots on goal and great opportunities. And then on the other side, Darien, they just got to keep going, because right now they're in a great spot. And what they've been doing is they're just keep putting pressure on the the Rams defense, which is, one of their weak links, and they've capitalized on them, gotten corners out of it, and obviously both their goals have come from corners. On the New Canaan, they can try and generate corners too by just putting pressure on Darien. That's all they need to do. So.
And that's something when you look at it, that corner kick, Darian saw the ball go out. They were calling for the ref to stop the clock as New Canaan was trying to stall the final 5 or 6 seconds. The ref puts the hands up. The scoreboard operator pressed stop with 2 seconds left. Keely Fox inserted it to Sutter, who sent it home for the Darien score. And now New Canaan will look to get some scores on the board here in the second half.
It was a great job by the crew, the official to signal it, and the clock manager to stop it. Again, that's not acceptable for the Rams, and Rich Hickson, I'm sure, let his team know that. That's just, they can't happen with 2 seconds to go in a half. You got to keep, 1 goal on the board, and now they're down 2, and, they have a lot of time left, but it's, not football where, a touchdown and you're back in the game, right? They need 2 goals.
That's something that I'm not necessarily sure if they were looking to stall the clock or if they just purely didn't know whose ball it was. It was a long kick out. The referee signaled the corner kick. Darien saw it and was trying to get the corner, and DeFelice was trotting back to her goal as teams will switch sides in the second half. New Canaan still in their home reds with the white numbering, now moving from right to left on your screen. Darien in the road blues, or in the road whites with the blue numbering, moving from left to right. As we're watching this production of the DAF Media Network and NCTV. DAF, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Braden Shank and Chase Harding with you. So glad you can be with us wherever you might be on this Thursday afternoon. Here's Chandler. Quinn now will break through. On net, it's wide and just missing the net. Colette Quinn sent the shot on net, past a diving DeFelice, but by a matter of inches, misses.
What a great chance there. As we take a look at the replay by Quinn, she sails it just by that right post, and DeFelice was in good positioning there, and that would have been a real stinger for the Rams if they, went down 3 early in the second. But DeFelice, good angle there, and even though she didn't touch that ball, she still took away the angle, so Quinn had, less to work with. So it was a nice job by DeFelice in the net.
Also impressed on that one. Exceptional camera work by DAF Media's Ben White-Chulis on that one. Great ISO shot, bringing you that shot just wide of the net. As now here's this ball looking for Galois. Will be intercepted by Secor.
Smart play there by Secor. Senses danger, and she just puts it out of bounds, and that's what Darien needs to do up to, right? Just get it out, get it up the field. There's nothing wrong with doing that. You don't need to score. New Canaan needs to score.
Norton. Over to Patton.
And, I mean, if you're the Rams, you don't need to rush things, right? It's, good to start trying to work, put pieces in place. But you don't need to really rush. You still got time. So I think they should try and really find that good opportunity to try and put one past the Davidson commit.
And the Davidson commit, Jillian Fox, has been stellar in net. Stopped the only shot she has seen on net. Here's Von Kennel on the far wing. Looking for Holmes. And Kelly will get it out to Sutter. Sutter sends it on net. It's up and just high of the net. Presley Sutter was looking at another to her name, and DeFelice just watched that one fly.
Nice one there. Quinn had a good opportunity there too, but she sails it to the field goal, and that's a great opportunity. That was a powerful kick from Presley Sutter, and Felice. She knows that Darien has some players on this team that can really kick the ball, and she's aware of that. And it's always great to have players on your team that can really fire the ball like that.
Holmes on the far side with it being met with Donaldson. Donaldson will get it right back to Smith in the midfield. And Chandler can't keep it in. That black line on the near side. She thought she could backstop it. Instead, she can't.
It's going to be Patterson, the sophomore, trying to find another sophomore.
There's Patton. She turns it around. And Chandler will knock it loose, but the possession staying with the Rams. New Canaan looking for some offense to them. Only that one shot on goal. The rest have not come close.
can really tell Jillian Fox is on a good cue with her teammates. Like we talked about earlier in the broadcast, that's the quarterback of the field. And, as it is in many sports, the goalie and how important of a role and position they play. And she's communicating to every single one of her defenders on where they need to be because, the defenders do have a blind spot. And the goalie's right there. She sees the whole field, and she's letting her players know, or her teammates know where they need to be and what they can do to positively outcome the game.
Some confusion on that one, but Colette Quinn will put her body on the line for the deflection. I think Darien thought they had the ball. New Canaan got it by the ref's call, and now this one will be sent on net just to the side of the net as that was Perticello looking for a goal.
Nice shot there from Perticello, but Jillian Fox in good positioning, hugging her post, and she makes sure that one goes out. Jillian Fox letting her teammates get upfield before she sails this one up in the air.
This one now knocked through. There's Fox hustling for it. So was Place.
New Canaan putting a little pressure on Darien and early into the second. And you can just sense New Canaan coming out of that half with a little sense of urgency.
This one's up and just wide.
It's the third field goal of the game.
I thought that one was just on the inside. I'm not sure if it quite split the uprights. It would be an impressive field goal, though, if you could hit it from that far hash on the 10. Of course, that's something I think Ty Groff could do.
48-yarder a couple weeks ago, pretty impressive. They could use a kicker like that in the NFL right now with all those misses. College football, too. There's a lot of kickers missing their field goals.
And I know for Darien, one of their kickers, Anson Secor, a former boys soccer player, transitioned to football this year, and he really's got a leg to him. He splits time with Tucker Stevens. But a good soccer player showing you that translation between the two sports.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those football kickers have prior experience with soccer, as it's a tremendous help.
So again, a Rivals Cup trophy on the line. I was seeing it at the end of the desk. It doesn't look like they engraved it from the last year, but one team will be taking that back home to their campus. Nice trophy. Darien has the boys one back at their school, and they're going to look to bring home a girls one as well.
Darien settling it down. Taking their time, trying to catch their breath here.
Chandler deflected away by Krutza. Chandler back to Quinn. She makes a nice stop. Place. Stopped by Aponte. Over to Sutter. Right back to Aponte. A magnificent move on that one. Loses it. She trips and is on the ground. You do not want to see that. Ponte's going to be slow to get up.
It's a wet surface. You can slip pretty easily, and I think that she looked like she was holding her hand there, but the wet surface, the wet turf, let alone, it's pretty easy to slip. Trying to change direction, trying to be shifty pretty quickly. They're going to get a free kick out of that one. Fox, the one that plays the corners, has a tremendous boot. And see what she's going to do here.
No, Fox is going to be looking to shoot this one on net, so DeFelice is ready. Keely Fox gets the whistle and the run-up. Sends it on net. And DeFelice fumbles it. The ball's still loose. And it will be kicked out of play, but DeFelice lost that one. And Darien was looking to capitalize to no avail.
DeFelice has got to catch that one. Obviously the ball's wet, I'm sure, and that can play a factor, but I'm sure Rich Hickson, knows she's got to catch that because obviously letting that rebound up. Darien could have put a third one on the board there, which they were very close to, especially if the Rams defenders weren't back there. That was a rocket from Fox. It went right into DeFelice's hands, but still it was a pretty good shot by Fox.
Darien student section bringing the energy on that goal kick, and that could have been chaos for New Canaan. Instead, they avoid it. Score remains 2-0 Darien. Short pass, Aponte right over to Holmes on the far side. Von Kennel. Push there by Place, and now Quinn's going to look to maneuver her way out of it. Byrne intercepted by Fox. Fox. DeFelice makes the stop.
DeFelice making sure to get her body in front of that one along with her hands. just in case anything silly happened. And Braden, I really am surprised that, that one didn't go in, as there was the Blue Wave outnumbered the Rams in front there.
That's something that Darian has been putting the pressure on Bella DeFelice all afternoon. 4 saves to her name, the 2 goals against. And then you look at Jillian Fox, only 1 save on 1 shot on goal.
But she came up big. It was a pretty key stop. And,
Aponte on net, just wide off the ball girl.
I mean, goalkeepers don't get tested a lot in soccer, but when you do, you got to do your job, and that's what Jillian Fox has done. No matter she gets 15 shots or 1 shot, if you do your job, you're going to keep that starting role. And from that 1 save, they got momentum off of it. A good save, a good shot, and I'm sure she is one of those captains that can really, boost the ego of this team and give them some confidence.
That's an interesting point you bring up, because I know me and you, we've called hockey, I think lacrosse together. In sports like that where it's so quick-paced, the goalies can make up for those mistakes. But in soccer, you're only going to see 2 or 3 shots on net, and you have to make those saves, or else you could cost your team the match.
It's totally true. I mean, in lacrosse, you're facing, tons of more shots than you are in soccer, almost 15. And, you really aren't expected to make all those saves. Same thing in hockey, you're facing 20-plus shots, and you're expected to make 80% of those, 90% of those saves, whereas in soccer, you really need to make 100% of those saves.
Especially in a game like soccer where you never know if you're going to get a low-scoring affair, a high-scoring one. 1 goal could be the difference in a good, hard-fought defensive soccer match. As for, like I said, lacrosse, that's almost unheard of. In hockey, it takes a lot to see a 1-0 game. Throw-in was looking for Alini off of Chandler. DeBano now. Here's Patton. Off the head of Place. Place hustling for it. And did she get it off Chandler? No, they're going to give it to Fox, so they're going to say it hit off Chandler out of play.
Great hustle there from Place. Patton trying to find her down that wing, and she hustled, and she's looking at the ref thinking she should have gotten a quarter out of that one. But this is something the Rams have really struggled with this year, is scoring goals and getting 1 or 2 on the board, and see if they can get something going here.
This one now in the box. Secor. And off of Russell, smart play from Secor will give the possession to the Wave. Chandler.
Right now, if you're Darien, you're just trying to get it up and out. You're not trying to give New Canaan any chances.
Here's Donaldson. She'll lose it to Holmes. Throw-in was looking for Perticello. There's Chandler. And along the near side, possession staying with the Rams.
Patton tossing it to C.C. Patterson. He's going to play one into a co-captain. Rams picking it up right now, playing it in fast.
Here's New Canaan. This one sent in the box. Fox knocks it away.
Just a heads-up play by Jillian Fox. She knows if, she tries to catch that one, she can, create rebounds, but instead she just plays it out. That's just a tremendous, tremendous, tremendous play by her and keeping all trouble away from the net. And if you're Darien, you just love to see that in your goalkeeper.
That one off the head of Norton. Byrne over to Aponte. Quinn's going to look for Holmes in the box. DeFelice is going to come out and corral it. Bella DeFelice retreating, and she'll punt it away. 26:15 left to play in regulation. course, you're watching the DAF Media Network joint production with NCTV this afternoon, bringing you live coverage of varsity girls soccer between Darien and New Canaan. Breeden Shank and Chase Harden with you. So glad you can be with us. And truly a good collaborative effort. Damian Andrew leading the DAF media side, and a big thank you to Roman Sobolski and his entire crew here at New Canaan, letting us in, helping us film this game. Of course, we got 3 of our DAF media faithfuls with us: Ben Chulis, Henry Imbrogno, Andrew Banks joined alongside us in the press box, helping out with the production here, and then the wonderful NCTV crew. And of course, Chase, it's great to be back in the booth with you.
Same with you, Breeden. It's always a pleasure.
I'm trying to think about it. I think soccer or hockey was the last time we called a game. That state playoff game, as that one's kicked off of a Ponte.
Some good games we called there. Darien, New Canaan. You know, another reason, you know, no matter what sport, no matter who's ranked what, it's always a good game. And those hockey games especially were always 1-2 goal games.
And of course, 2-0 Darien leads in this one. That one kicked over to the New Canaan bench. Throw-in will be from Donaldson. And that one out of play.
Right now, the Rams have really dominated. You know, into the second half, the Rams have definitely had more possession time, and you know, into Darian's half of the field. And Jillian Fox has been tested twice, whereas in the first half she was only tested once, and obviously the second half isn't over yet. So it's good to see if you're a Rams faithful. But right now, they just need to put goals on the board.
This one out, Fox. Off the boot of Donaldson. That one, just a little too much on it. And again, that's something, Chase, that New Canaan's got to crispen up on. Those passes quite a few times. If they looked to that corner and just found nobody in it. Fox with the goal kick. Pass Byrne.
Go out of play.
Stella Nolan will get the throw in as New Canaan will make a substitution. Devin Russell checking out, and in her place will come. Trying to find the number on that. Achille, number 21. Summer Achille checking back in as this one out booted up in the air. Over to place.
Nice play there by CeCe Patterson to just get it out. As a defender in soccer, your job is to keep everything away from your net and just get it up the field, and that's what Patterson did there.
Kelly Holmes on the far side, over to Kate Min. That one kicked up from number 29 for Darien, Quinn Kennedy, newly entered into the match. Missed that substitution, but Kennedy's now in the match. Sent on the ground, and Fox pounces on it for her 3rd save of the afternoon.
Nice try there by Patton, skipping her off the ground. It's not an easy save for Fox. She didn't have anybody around her, but in this wet conditions, you don't know what can go wrong with the bounces on the turf, but just a nice stop by her right in the hands.
Fox is going to get the through ball on it, and she's going to put it over to nobody, looking for Quinn.
And I mean, just hearing the ball hit the turf, you can tell it's rolling and skidding differently. And that's always tough for goalkeepers, but Fox has done a nice job so far, and so has DeFelice. Or excuse me, yes, Fox.
Both teams missing on that one. You can hear the players, they're gonna give it to New Canaan. Throw in over to Patton. Place loses it to Quinn. Catherine Byrne. That one will go out. Possession going to the Blue Wave.
Good ball there from Catherine Byrne, trying to find Paige Place, running down that wing. Just a little past her, but you could hear Paige Place and Sydney Patton tell her, nice ball, as they respect the ball that the captain fed her.
Presley Sutter, Summer Glunday checking back in for the Wave in the places of Colette Quinn and Isabella Alini. Bringing on some two strong strikers with 21 minutes left to play. 2-0, Darien leads. Carolina Ponte and Presley Sutter the goals.
great defense by Secor, using her body and keeping Glau away from her net, and that's always good in your defenders. Beauty about soccer is you can, get a little rough, and especially with how the refs letting them play today. That's great defense from Secor.
There's Kelly Holmes now across the midfield. She'll make a nice move with it over to Glende. And overshoots Glende, as it will be Patterson to watch it go out. Sutter over to Min. That one booted out.
And I mean, Min right there, that was really the first opportunity Darian's had all half on New Canaan's, side of the field. And it's going to go out of bounds, and the Blue Wave are going to keep possession of it. DeFelice is going to get it. Take her time. 19:40 to go in the second half. And at this point, New Canaan's got to try and get something going, down 2.
Bella DeFelice will get the goal kick. Canaan's slowing it down as they will bring a sub out on the play. Kate Min checking out as Caroline Underwood will check in for the Rams. So both teams starting to dig into their bench depth. Patton. Sutter now. Over to Stafford. Strong kick by Chandler. Now in the corner looking for Glende, and she will send it right to DeFelice.
And even if those go out of bounds, just keeping it in the Rams side of the half and not allowing them, to get anything going is a good thing, especially for Darien, because, obviously they got to put 2 goals on the board, not you. So if you can keep it on their side of the half, and not necessarily put goals in the back of net, just keep it there. They're not going to be able to generate chances, and they're going to get tired, which is going to end up winning you the game.
That's something, that's a good point you bring up there, because Darien, they just got to run out the clock. New Canaan needs to get the offense going, and the ball hasn't really seen that much to the left side of the field. As Sutter now. Coming out is DeFelice. She will pick it up. Now we will see the punt from DeFelice.
Nice punt from DeFelice.
Header from Galois into the open space. That will be Secor. Makes the move and turns it the other way. Rain still coming down. Not as bad as it was before. Canaan keeping it in transition now. Glende will intercept it. Here's Aponte now looking to flip the field. Aponte. Pass Patterson, and that will be picked up by DeFelice.
I mean, Darien can do this all game. They can just bring it up, put it on net, and just let DeFelice, try and kick it up. The Rams defense is just giving them all types of space in the world, which isn't a good thing, especially when you're down 2. They got to start pressuring and keep it on their side of the half. You're not going to score if it's on your side of the 50. So they just got to, pressure their middies, pressure their strikers, and keep it on their side of the field and actually put pressure on Darian's defense.
There's the rain now starting to come down again, but they're going to keep on playing through. It's now really starting to come down. I think 6 o'clock was when it was going to get ugly, and they just got 16 minutes they got to play through.
Nice play there by CeCe Patterson.
Fox is going to come out and pick it up. Over to Keely Fox. Now Holmes. And you can just hear how hard that rain is coming down. And the referee is now going to let the subs in here.
Yeah, you can really hear that rain. Everybody's putting their raincoats on, and umbrellas are going up again.
Throwing by the Rams is starting to slow down. But like I said, the forecast coming in today around 6 o'clock or so is when the thunderstorms are supposed to come out. 5:55 right now. And all they got to do is get through the next 15 minutes of play. As now Galwal will send this one up and just wide. It's really coming down, isn't it, though?
Yeah. Place trying to put it in front there. With, you know, a little over 15 to go, you really got to start cracking at the bit now if you're the Rams.
Canaan needs some offensive opportunities. Fox only has 3 saves in the game. The only 3 opportunities she has is now New Canaan will get something. The centering pass to no avail. Was looking for Patton. Here's Place. Can she keep the pressure on? And it will be DeBano knocking it away. Here's Von Kennel. Von Kennel into the 30 now. Looking for Stafford. Overshoots her. DeFelice picks up the ground ball.
Just shows you how fast of a sport this is. 30 seconds ago, New Canaan, you know, looked like they had a chance, and all of a sudden it's into DeFelice's hands.
This one now. And the far side, Fox is going to look to grab it right back. Watches it go out. Possession staying with Achille and the Rams. Again, New Canaan, a loss today would put them in a tough spot for the FCAC playoffs, where they will need Greenwich and Danbury to tie tonight to be mathematically alive in the FCACs, and they will need to win out their final 3 matches to qualify for the state tournament. So a lot at stakes for the Rams if they lose this match today. As for Darien, again, 4 points out of that 8th spot in the FCAC playoffs. So if they win, they would pick up the 3 points on the table and only be trailing the 8th seeded Danbury by 1 point. So a lot at stake here for both of these sides.
It's always tough when you're relying on, you know, I guess the downfall of other teams because you have such a poor record.
That's something. This is a down year for this New Canaan team as the shot is up and just wide of the net. But a down year for New Canaan, to say the least. 9-3-3 is what the Rams went last season. This year they're sitting at 2-7-2, and it's tough, Chase, when you graduate players like Kaylee Hart and Dylan Patton, to name a few. And how do you think a program like New Canaan recovers from that?
Well, they got a couple young players in Sydney Patton, Paige Place, and, you know, those are the players that Rich Hickson was circling when we talked to him pregame. And, you know, they have a good sophomore goalie as well in Christy Gabriel. So right now, you know, with their record, they don't have a lot of confidence. But with those young athletes,
here's Von
they can gain some.
DeFelice will stop it. Sorry to cut you off there, Chase.
But what I was saying is with those young athletes, you can gain some confidence. Sydney Patton, Paige Place, and Christy Gabriel. So right now, I think it's just a rebuilding year in a way. You know, they're 2-7-2. So they just got to, you know, practice on putting balls on net and putting the ball in the back of the net, right? It doesn't matter how you score, it's how many you score, and the Rams haven't done a lot of that this year.
They haven't. They've scored 14 times this season, 7 of which came in 1 game against Bridgeport. The other 7 came over the span of 10 matches for New Canaan, and they have been shut out quite a lot this season. 5 times, to be exact, they have been shut out by the opposition. So the offense has not really been able to get going for New Canaan this season, and at this point, you don't have much time to get it going.
Yeah. I mean, they, like you touched on, they just haven't found that one player, that 1 or 2 players that, you know, is able to put it in the back of the net. And, you know, teams always need those players. It's great if you have, a ton of players that can do that. But even if you just have 2 or 3, it's great.
This one now in the box. Fox is looking to clear it out. New Canaan with a look. It's up and just wide.
It's a nice try there for Caroline Underwood and Devin Russell. But Lila DeBano's right there and tips it out of bounds. Looks like we're going to get a corner here. Sydney Patton, the sophomore, is going to take it. And the Rams talking this one over. See if Sydney Patton can pull a Keely Fox and send a perfect volley up there for a Rams opportunity. Here it is to try and get one on the board.
This one's up into the scrum and just wide. So New Canaan's first attempt at the corner kick does not work. And they will run it over to the other side and try it again.
Sydney Patton getting in her steps for today.
Well, I think she got that probably before this.
True.
Sydney Patton now on the corner kick.
Running corner to corner. See what you can do here.
on net. It's up, and the ball is loose, but Fox makes the stop.
Fox with a nice tip there. It was a little shady in front, but ultimately it goes out of bounds, and it's going to be a goal kick for the Blue Wave. Nice job by Fox to just get it out of there. And she's going to let her team settle down with 10:30 to go in the second half.
A big stop by Jillian Fox, probably the biggest she's made of the afternoon. Keeps it 2-0 Darien. And New Canaan's now looking for a late spark on this offense that has so far gone 80 minutes without anything. Actually, 70 minutes, my apologies, without anything.
It's been like that really all year. They, we said it 2 or 3 minutes ago, but they really just haven't been able to put balls in the back of the net. And you're not going to win games if you don't score. No matter how well you play defensively, you can't win games. Obviously, defense wins championships, and but you're not going to win games if you don't put balls in the back of the net.
That one now knocked away off the scrum. And that's something for New Canaan. They're getting the corner kick opportunities, but they're not sending them on net. The ball's coming right back out in the field. So again, not drawing up those plays good enough. As that's Norton who's going to hustle with Von Kennel. Some pushing going on. Von Kennel, she will keep with it. Beats past her defender and is finally tripped up. And the referee will not call anything. The shot on the ground just wide. I think Von Kennel was looking for a call as she was going to the cage, but was tripped up. That could have potentially been a penalty kick.
That was a great sequence of plays from both sides.
Yellow card handed out to the Darien bench. Assistant coach Matt Ellis talking to the referee. You missed it right there, but he believed that his player would have had a clear shot on the net, so the Darien sideline gets the yellow card.
And Braden, as you just touched on opportunity, Lee Parsons, the Darien coach, told us before the game, they need to, when they get the opportunities, they need to finish. But really, that's been the tale for the other side for the Rams. They just haven't been able to finish on their opportunities. And I would say Darien has. So, Parsons, what he told us, has come true. And I think Hickson, that's what he needs to tell his team. He needs to finish these opportunities because, they have had those corners. They have had those, free kicks.
They have indeed. And it's interesting because this Darien team, they've also struggled with scoring this season, but they haven't shown that. They went up 2-0 at the half, a slow second half from the Wave, but they got the opportunities. They've capitalized on them, and the defense, once again, has been showing through for Darien as they lead this match 2-0. It starts with a good pass and something that New Canaan's not been able to do, but Darien, Von Kennel on the wing, the pass in the middle, the Secor, whoever, and then they finish it, has worked to perfection. As Fox will punch that one away, she is down. Big stop for Jillian. And now New Canaan will stay on the offense.
You can just tell how seasoned Fox is in that net.
The one-timer. Fox comes out and grabs it. Crowd erupts on it.
Just how poised Fox is. Nothing can get to her, and she's just made key stop after key stop. And, if you're Lee Parsons and that staff, you're just so happy to have a goalie like that.
Just saw on the replay, great job by the crew in the truck to bring you that one. Andrew Banks, our camera operator, bringing you a good shot on that one. Team effort here between DAF Media and NCTV. Braden Shank and Chase Harden with you. So glad you can be with us. On the ground, that one now. Turned over to Galwa. Ooh, big hit there. And the referee is now going to give it to Darien, so he saw that one.
Rams sideline doesn't like that call, but the official sticks with his gut and gives it to Darien.
Rain's still coming down. Secor will give it a run up on the free kick. Off to Quinn. That one out from Byrne. Chandler. They don't call her for the handball on it. Must have hit her arm or something as Quinn will get that to Stafford. Nice move from Aponte. She knocks down her defender. Fox on the far side. That looked like a lightning strike, but I don't know if the refs called that.
Sure did. With 6 minutes to go in the second half, they might try and stick this one out.
I'm curious if anyone saw that, because like I said, that would be the one caveat that they would stop this match if there was lightning in the area. And this rain is really coming down.
Means the ball's slippery. Both goalies need to be aware of that. The turf even more wet than it was when we first started. So both teams are getting used to the wet turf, and the goalkeeper's getting used to the wet ball. But, you know, obviously it's just tough conditions and you're not used to it. You don't practice in this normally. So really, you know, bad bounce, you know, anything can happen in these conditions. So you just got to be, you know, ready for the worst. Expect the unexpected.
Definitely less than ideal conditions. 5 minutes left to play. I think they're going to try to stick this one out. If this was the first half, I think it might be a different story, because this is really coming down. Of course, the lightning that just struck somewhere in the area. This one now sent on net, just wide. And you can just hear it on the mic how hard this rain is coming down.
Nice throw in there.
Pushing going on. Quinn now trying to maneuver away, and she gets the ball to Karczewski. Bryn Karczewski, the senior newly on. Now Stafford over to Von Kennel. Von Kennel back to Stafford. And Anna can't get to that one. 4 minutes left. New Canaan really needs something here if they want to try to come back.
Yeah, 4 minutes. They really got to get something going now. DeFelice, you get your big striker, and you just send it up to her and try and get something going. 4 minutes is not a ton of time, and they need to get 2 on the board to just tie this one and hopefully try and send it to OT if you're a Rams faithful.
Karczewski now over to Sutter. Now Quinn. Here's Holmes trying to get past the New Canaan defensive effort. 5 players back for the Rams. Galwa. Late contact there.
Nice play there by Chandler, the season captain. She just senses it. You know, they don't need to score. They just need to play solid defense, right? New Canaan's need to score too. So just get it out of bounds and keep it out of harm's way. Great play by her.
This one now sent in the box. Fox will come out and field it and pops to the ground.
I mean, you really can't stress it enough. Darien, you know, they don't need to do anything. They just need to keep it out of their defensive half, and they'll win this game. And they just need to keep it up and get balls out of bounds when you can. And just when you sense danger, just get it the heck out.
Tripped up there, Von Kennel. And the clock will stop. Von Kennel slow to get up. Referee's going to check her out. I think she might have hit her head on the turf. So the referee's going to go over some protocols. She seems to be okay. And no, I think the referee might be taking her out. Nope, he's letting him stay in. So Von Kennel back up. Scary second there, and another player down. It's, again, the wet turf. The rain just came down.
Yeah, I mean, cleats aren't designed, right? They're designed for dry turf. They aren't designed for soaked turf. And obviously when you're in a game like soccer, when you're trying to change direction so quickly and you're so shifty, it's tough to do in wet conditions like this.
That one now booted over to Russell. Keely Fox will get the throw in for the Wave.
2:10 left in the game, and you know the Rams really need to get it going if they want to chance at this.
This one on the ground, and Fox will field it with 2 minutes left to play. Time's really dwindling away for New Canaan now as we enter the later halves of this match between Darien and New Canaan.
You can just tell how seasoned Fox is in net. She's just, you know, falling on every ball that comes her way, because in conditions like this, anything silly can happen. Like we said, what can't go wrong will go wrong, and she understands that because she's so seasoned. So she's just falling on every ball, making sure it doesn't slide past her in any form.
Fox over to Stafford looking for her, and that one just a little long. So now in the final 90 seconds, New Canaan looking for a miracle to put 2 up on the board and beat a stellar goalkeeper in Jillian Fox. Going off the head. Stafford will knock it over to Karczewski. Byrne will lose it here. Now, New Canaan needs to get something under a minute left. Overall, good defensive effort in this second half by both squads. 2-0 was the score heading into the half, and in about 45 more ticks, it might be our final score. As New Canaan's last attempt knocked out will be a throw-in for the Rams. New Canaan now, last attempt through some deflection on the wing. Into the scrum. That one kicked up and off the football upright. And that will just about do it from Dunning Field. And Darien will take home the Rivals Cup against arch rival New Canaan, as they are the winners in this one by the final score of 2-0. Carolina Ponte, Presley Sutter. And then a great goalkeeping effort from Jillian Fox is where the Darien Blue Wave will take it.
And that's going to be the 6th time this year New Canaan's been shut out. And, you know, that's really tough when you can't get goals on the board. You know, we've said it tens of times this broadcast. You can't win games if you're not going to score goals.
So Darien, they will advance their record to 4-4-3. Again, they pick up ground on the FCAC standings, now only out by 1 point of the FCAC playoffs behind Trumbull. As for New Canaan, they dropped to 2-8-2 on the season. Now need Danbury and Greenwich to tie tonight in order to keep their FCAC playoff hopes tonight, and they need to beat Fairfield, Ludlow, Norwalk, and West Hill to have a chance at the state playoffs. Chase, I'm going to hand it over to you for the sponsors.
And we're going to head it to our sponsors. This game is sponsored by our NC Rams All Sports Booster Club Platinum and Gold sponsors. We would like to thank our Platinum sponsor, Dr. William Fessler, Family Dentistry, the dental office for your entire family's dental needs. At William Fessler Family Dentistry, smile, you are in good hands. We would like to thank our Platinum sponsors, NCHS alumni Leo and Steve Carl of Carl Chevrolet, who have been proud supporters of our athletic programs for generations. Their dealership has been serving Fairfield County since 1927. Their team is ready to assist with all of your automotive needs. We would like to thank our Platinum sponsor, Walter Stewart's. Walter Stewart's Market has supported NC Rams athletics and the entire New Canaan community for years. Walter Stewart's is your fresh local market. We would like to thank our gold sponsor, Anderson Kenny Architect, a full-service practice that encompasses a range of commissioned residential and commercial projects. Each project is a thoughtful collaboration tailored for clients and their needs. The outcome is highly personal, constructed with intention and integrity. We would like to thank our gold sponsor, Fragan Engineering. Planning on putting in a pool or an addition onto your house? Are you having drainage issues on your property? Frangione Engineering can help you find a solution for that. Thank you to our gold sponsor, Performance Optimal Health, who proudly supports all New Canaan Rams athletes in their 2022-2023 seasons. Their teams help clients achieve their health goals through exercise, recovery, nutrition, and stress management. They offer their congratulations to all teams competing this season. We would also like to thank our gold sponsor, Residence Partners, a family-owned and New Canaan-based residential building and remodeling company serving all of Fairfield County. Again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan High School athletics.
Thank you for that, Chase. Of course, a joint production this afternoon between NCTV and DAF Media. The DAF Media Network is a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. So that's going to do it from us here at Dunning Field. Again, your final score, Darien 2, New Canaan 0. Goals from Carolina Ponte and Presley Sutter. In the first half is where Darien got the advantage, and Jillian Fox slammed it home for Darien as they pick up their 4th win on the 2022 campaign. So I'm going to give a big thank you to Mr. Roman Sobolski and the entire NCTV crew for their help this afternoon and making this broadcast possible. Chase, I want to thank you for coming on again today. It was a pleasure calling the game with you, and a big thank you to my 3 DAF Media brothers over here coming out to Dunning Field, Ben White-Chulis, Henry Imbrogno, Andrew Banks, making this possible. So for all of them, Chase Harden joined alongside me, saying so long from Dunning Field. I've been Braden Shank, And this has been a production of the DAF Media Network and NCTV. We'll see you next time.